Hey guys,
Wow.
the hell's up? What's up? It's Zach and Tommy from Epic Tech. It's going to be something that we're trying for the first time. Basically, it's going to be this two of us in one room.
And hopefully autofocus doesn't screw us up.
Yeah, it's getting pretty annoying with the webcam. We're going to be talking about some different technical things.
First is the Apple iPods, and second is the Google Chrome and versus Opera.
Yeah.
So,
if you've been checking our website recently, which you better, you saw that there was a poll on there about web browsers. Well, we're getting pretty interested in that stuff, and we want to know what you guys think is better, Google Chrome or Opera. We're going to tell you what we think is better and why.
Yeah.
And we're going to compare the two of them. But first off, let's talk about the new Apple products. Start with the iPod Touch.
Two cameras.
Two cameras.
That's
which is a lot better than one and a lot better than zero. Here's the iPod Touch second generation, sorry.
Okay.
As you can see, no camera. Yeah.
Unlike those other people that on Google and stuff like that make those fake cameras on their iPod, like right there. Pretty gay. I hate those rickrolled.
Yeah. So the fact that there's one camera is a huge deal. You know, I would expect normally you'd expect the camera to be on the back, but the fact that there's a front-facing one too is great. And what's it for?
FaceTime.
FaceTime. That's a huge
Skype.
deal. Or Skype if you want to do Skype too. I haven't really thought about that. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, FaceTime, iPhone 4 exclusive. Everyone thought at least. Now it's going to be on the iPod Touch 4G, the brand new iPod Touch. Not only is there FaceTime, also there's going to be a feature called Game Center, which basically
Pretty sweet, yeah.
It's pretty sweet. It's going to be mainly what it's for is it's more interactive as far as multiplayer goes.
Like, say me and Zach wanted to play and we both had iPod Touch 4Gs, we could both play, not in the same room, we could play anywhere we wanted to.
Yeah, as long as we're connected to Wi-Fi, of course. You'd think Wi-Fi is going to be a huge restraint. It's really going to hold you back on this, you know, because so many of the features, you know, FaceTime, everything that requires internet, you know, you're going to have to use Wi-Fi for it. So it is going to be sort of holding you back because you can't be anywhere when you're doing it. You have to be connected to Wi-Fi. But still, you know, this is an MP3 player and you're getting all of this stuff on it. I mean, be thankful, guys.
The comparisons of the iPhone 4 and the iPod Touch are just magnificent. How the cameras are almost identical. The iPhone 4 wins a little bit better, but it's still amazing how they are.
Looking at the specs actually for the iPod Touch, as I am right now, the camera is actually only the still camera for actual photos. It's 0.7. Doesn't say that on here, but it is. It's 0.7 megapixels as opposed to 5 megapixels on the iPhone, which really you can't even tell.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like my phone, it's the crappiest phone for photos. It's like 1 megapixel, and it looks better than my phone. I don't even know how, but
yeah,
it looks better. I don't know.
The resolution, I'm sure has something to do with it. The resolution, it's great on the screen, getting away from the cameras for a second. The Retina display, you know, combined with 960 by 640 pixel resolution, 326 pixels per inch, that is a huge deal. Great display. I don't know the exact, you know, details as far as this display goes on the iPod Touch 2G, but it's a huge deal. Anything else you want to talk about on the iPod Touch?
I've seen the iPhone 4 and the iPod Touch now, and I've seen the iPhone 4 in person, and how small it is just ridiculous. And then I saw a comparison of the iPod 4G and the iPhone 4G, and how much smaller the iPhone or iPod is than the iPhone, and how they still fit the 3.5 inch diagonal display.
Yeah, great display, great everything. Just great tech specs overall, and they've done so many improvements. And obviously, I don't have an iPod Touch 4G present. This is an iPod Touch 2G. If I were to compare them, I think you could see how thin this is. This is ridiculously thin. I have an iPhone 3G here. I'm gonna take the case off real quick for you guys.
Break your iPod real quick.
Break my iPod real quick. Yeah. iPhone, iPod
White.
Touch.
Sweet.
As you can see them right there. There's the comparison. Obviously, like half, a lot thinner. And then I really can't tell you if the iPod Touch 4G is thinner, but it's definitely not a lot thicker by far for the improvements and the size. It's a great deal.
And onto the iPod Nano, how it is a multi-touch screen, and it's only what, 7 inches? No, not 7 inches.
7 inches.
7 inches. That would be like huge.
Yeah.
It's only like 2 or 3 inches. It's ridiculous, and how it's 240 by 240 pixels, which isn't HD, but it's a square. It's literally a square, and we just watched a video on it.
To be exact, 1.48 inches height and 1.61 inches across. It's a square.
It's not a perfect square, but it is it looks exactly like a square.
It's almost exactly a square. Actually, I think I'll show a picture of it at some point in the video. Down here, somewhere over here.
There.
We'll surprise you guys. Yeah, that's the size of the iPod Nano. But onto some of the stuff. The 240 by 240 pixel resolution, that's perfect for its size, and that would make you think it's a square right there. The screen is a square.
Yeah.
This actual size of the device, not exactly a square, but obviously really close to it, off by like 0.2 inches.
And 8 to 16 gigabytes of flash RAM, or not flash RAM, but flash memory. That is just ridiculous how good that is. I mean, come on. And it has an accelerometer in it, and it's like that big, like even like just this part, that big. That's all.
Yeah. So the fact that there's an 8 gig and it's not an iPod Touch, so you're going to be doing a lot less things on it.
Yeah.
You can go on the radio, and actually, interesting thing is that the headphones, we saw this works as
an antenna.
Works as an antenna when you have the headphones plugged into the jack.
Really weird.
If you guys, I personally if you ever connect it to like a docking station, like a speaker, if you have like any type of iPod, it automatically connects to Wi-Fi. Or at least that happens for me. And that's basically what's going to happen here. It's going to work as an antenna. It's very interesting.
It'll log into FM radio whenever you want.
Yeah. So, 8 gigs, as I said. And that's a huge deal because you're not going to be using all of that. You're definitely not going to be using near all of that unless you're,
Yeah, it's not even explainable.
It's not even explainable. You really, and if you are going to use all the 8 gigs, I probably wouldn't. There's a 16 gig, and that's great.
I think they really went with the Shuffle's design on, or not the the Shuffle. Yeah, sorry, the Shuffle. How they have the buttons on the top and the buttons on the bottom and stuff like that, because it's exactly the same size as a Shuffle, just with the touchscreen. And they actually got rid of the pinch, but they added the twist. I don't know if they actually had that on the regular iPod, but they added the twist. So
another really interesting feature, which I believe isn't really new, but it's there, is the voiceover feature.
That's sweet.
That's really sweet. We just saw that. Whenever you're about to listen to a song, that's on here as well as the iPod Shuffle, actually, and voiceover, basically, it's a robotic voice that'll come out of your iPod Nano, and give you the title information of whatever song you're listening to. And I'm sure there's many more there might be more features on the iPod Nano than there are on the Shuffle, but do you have anything else to say about it?
One thing I would have liked to seen is Wi-Fi, which is ridiculous to ask for, and iTunes Store, because if you would have had Wi-Fi and iTunes Store, you would have been able to download your songs directly and not even have to plug it into your computer.
Yeah, they have radio. And as I said, the earphones act as an antenna. So maybe they're not a strong enough antenna to actually have full-on Wi-Fi. But they could have easily,
for how small it is.
I would not complain if there was just a tiny bit thicker. If that's what they needed to put Wi-Fi in it, I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah. No.
And of course, the clip on the back is very cool.
It has 220 pixels per inch, which is going to give you pretty high quality for your photos, album work, and stuff like that. Sorry, I just walk.
Let's move on to the iPod Shuffle now if we're done. iPod Shuffle, not actually slightly smaller, not half the size, but I wouldn't really know what percentage to say here, but it is a bit smaller than the new iPod Nano.
It's 1.14 inches in height and 1.24 in width, so it's not really that going to be different.
It's not going to be that much different. So it has the classic, control pad.
Sorry to correct you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I wish it did, but
it doesn't have that. Actually,
it has plus and minus.
Plus minus.
Sorry to correct you.
It's the same.
Concept.
It's the same concept generally. It's like it looks the same. It doesn't act the same though. You're not gonna go like. You're just gonna be pressing the buttons.
The thing I'd like to see on the Shuffle is better battery usage, because it's only 15 hours of audio, which isn't very good compared to the iPod Touch, which is like 24.
And then
right?
Around there. But at the same time, it's not great. But at the same time, you have to. Yeah, it's so small compared to the actual iPod Touch.
I can't even imagine how small the battery is compared to the whole device.
Yeah, as far as exterior goes, you know, it doesn't look like there'd be a huge battery because of the size, but you know, we didn't make the device. Maybe 15 hours is the best they could do.
Only up to 2 gigabytes of flash memory.
Yeah.
So, but how many songs are you really going to store on your shuffle?
Clearly, songs is the only thing you can put on there. You can't put video. And why would you put video when you have a screen? No, it's just going to be songs. That's always what the shuffle's been for. So you're going to have a 2 gig flash drive for only songs, and it's going to be $50. So
and it fully charges at 3 hours, which isn't terrible. I don't even know what the iPod shuffle, or not shuffle, but the Nano or the Touch charge at, but we could probably look at those if we wanted to. I don't really feel like it though.
Just looking at the size and weight once again, it's just great, and you know, the clip, just as you had on the iPod Nano, very good. It's going to be very convenient. You know, if you're one of those people who listens to music while they run, this is your kind of device. And
it's only 0.44 ounces of weight, or for all of you European people, 12.5 grams. That's just ridiculous. It's going to be barely anything whenever you hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
You won't even know it's there.
So, do you have anything else to say about it?
No, not really.
Alright, well, that's enough about the new Apple products. We're going to now be talking about the
Opera versus Google.
Opera versus Google Chrome. That's, yeah, two browsers that, not quite as popular, of course, as Firefox and Internet Explorer, but if you're, I mean, personally, I didn't know about them at first whenever I was using Firefox originally, but if you are often on YouTube or often on Google, they're always advertising, get Google Chrome, it's the best for YouTube, it's the best for Google. And something very interesting, though, is that when you're on Google, it's basically like you are running on a software almost, because right when you type something in, you don't have to click search, it comes up that quick. It's so quick on Google Chrome. But I'm not going to use a web browser just so the Google browsing is better.
Yeah, no.
You know, I'm going to use it for several things. I don't just browse Google, I browse the whole internet. So
I mean, Google's great, but it's one of those things that you really don't care about. And comparing Opera to Google, it's not even comparable, because Zach actually had a problem downloading videos on YouTube. I don't know what that was all about, but as soon as he said, as soon as he switched to Opera, that it worked.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why.
Yeah, I can't really tell you why. I mean, we can't compare. Sorry, we can't compare. Basically, you know, which one of them works better as far as like how they connect. I mean, the speed honestly varies. I'll use Opera one day, it'll be so fast. I'll use Google Chrome one day, it'll be so fast. And then another day, it will go slow. It really varies. Comparing the two, though, currently, just currently, not all time, but currently, I'm having much more success with Opera. How about
Me too.
you?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Sorry about that. As you can obviously tell, lighting kind of a huge hint. We've been having some major technical difficulties, and editing, filming, everything just hasn't been working out. If the audio is off in the last clips, sorry about that. That's our bad. For some reason, when we were filming, the audio cut off at like 13 minutes. It's actually like a 14.5-minute video, but 13 minutes in, the audio cuts off. So basically, short and sweet. I think Opera's better. How about you?
Yeah, Opera is definitely better. I think because the customization of it is just it's just fantastic, and how you could do pretty much anything you want. You could have a clear background. You could have black. You do really whatever.
Yeah, the skin options, as he was getting to, those are just really fun to play around with. Tons of user uploaded ones.
And there's a lot of panels too, like for mail, for your bookmarks, for Unite and stuff like that.
And it's all everywhere. Like, you can be on I'm on Facebook right now, for example, and just going down the side, bookmarks, then I could click, open up all different kinds of widgets and everything like that, history, tons of stuff. And just, like you said, customization, huge on Opera, better than Google Chrome, that goes without saying.
And it's a lot smoother too, like just the viewing up and down, scrolling and stuff like that, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
so, rate, subscribe, comment, and thanks guys, see you later.